This country needs aerospace and defense. Not just because it's one of America's greatest industries, but because this work changes lives. From the men and women on the shop floor and their families, to the innovation that stems from this work, to the lives that are forever changed by this great American tradition. It's all the reasons why the machinists are teaming up with business to tell Congress to stop cutting this budget before it's too late.
Now's not the time for the Congress to push the self-destruct button on the aerospace and defense industry, which will devastate American workers, our local governments, and undercut our GDP.
The U.S. economy is responding like a C-17 Globemaster. It's the best way we can describe it. It takes time and it takes distance to reach its cruising altitude. And now is not the time to shut off one of its 4 engines.
300 days. That's how much time the country has before the budget cuts set in.
Now is the time for Congress to act before the clock ticks down to what Secretary Panetta described as doomsday.
So together, these powerhouses are taking their message to Congress. Armed with a letter for the President and data from a study commissioned by AIA, it's clear that the aerospace and defense industry has an irreplaceable impact on the USA.
Beyond these impressive statistics, the industry appears to punch above its weight, to borrow a boxing term, contributing in many other ways that you don't find in the numbers, benefiting our society, the very fabric of our society, benefiting the way that we travel, communicate, work, and live in a defended society.
The study paints a real picture of the situation. Aerospace employs either directly or indirectly more than 3.5 million people. It's the largest positive contributor to America's trade balance, giving the U.S. in 2010 more than $320 billion in sales. And it's why we have innovations like the internet and the space program. But most of all, it's how we keep our military men and women as safe as possible.
GPS and laser-guided standoff and unmanned distance strike capabilities allow our troops to fight from a much safer positions. High-tech battlefield medicine and more capable medevac aircraft save lives of the wounded young men and women that would have died from identical injuries just 1 generation ago. As a matter of fact, if you can get one of our wounded individuals to medical care within an hour, they call it the first golden hour, there's a significant chance, 90% chance, that that individual will survive.
And that's not something the IAM is willing to put a price tag on. For the Machinist News Network, I'm Deirdre Kaniewski.